I'm LaDonna Lockard, and this is Max Convos. I'm here today with Jordan Bingham. He is the CEO of LendSafe. Jordan, it is so wonderful to have you on Max Convos. I can't believe we haven't done this before. We've actually known each other for a few years. Give me a little bit of background about yourself, though, for those who are maybe meeting you for the first time.
Yeah, so I previously worked in the mortgage industry. I was an LO for a while, and then I started LendSafe early 2021 with the goal of providing comprehensive data security solution for mortgage shops, mortgage lenders who wanted to comply with all the upcoming regulation for the industry.
There are definitely a lot of them, and it is such an important and relevant field that you're serving. I sometimes feel like with cybersecurity, it's a little bit like mortgage compliance in that people don't necessarily prioritize it until it's actually too late. So, what would you say is the number one thing that you see mistakes people are making when you go in to investigate either these lenders, these mortgage brokerages, these mortgage shops?
Yeah, so the first one, which you kind of already touched on a little bit, is not paying attention to it until it's too late. That's really common, and I get it. A lot of, especially for the small to medium-sized mortgage shops, we have a lot of hats we wear, and the administrators of those shops have a lot of responsibilities, and so compliance and cybersecurity sometimes get lost in the mix. But it's important to focus on those before you're in a situation, an emergency situation where you know all hands on deck, and it's much more difficult at that point. The other thing that I would point out, specifically when we're responding to incidents that have occurred at mortgage companies, a lot of the time these incidents are due to bad password hygiene. What I mean by that is a lot of times these LOs or different people in the company are reusing the same passwords over and over again. And so all it takes is one time for that password to get hacked or for a hacker to receive that password somehow. And then they'll try and use it on your email, on your LOS you use, on everything they can to try and get any data that they can regarding you and your clients.
It really is so important to not only have unique passwords, make them strong, add in some characters, and make them so that you can differentiate them across the board. You should not be reusing passwords anywhere. So fantastic tip. Thank you for that. In the event that a cyber incident has occurred, what do we do? What happens? What's next?
Yeah, so there's a number of different types of cyber events, but a lot of times the most important thing you do is first consult the regulations in your area. A lot of states require reporting of intrusions, and a lot of times you have to report this maybe both to a state regulatory body as well as to the affected clients. Beyond that, also just make sure that you are if it's something that seems to be affecting someone's email, make sure that you bring in a professional who can take a thorough look at the email inbox and email account of whoever is involved, and make sure that there's no email forwarding rules set up. Make sure that basically all of the different vulnerabilities that led to that cyber attack are closed and patched up so it doesn't happen again.
I know that for so many companies, disaster recovery is something that, again, same thing, a lot of people don't put the time or energy into it until it's too late. A cybersecurity disaster recovery plan should be at the forefront of everyone's minds in 2025. This is not something that's going away. If anything, attackers are just getting smarter and more efficient. What do you think is if you had to predict, what would you say the most outrageous, what we're going to see the most of, what type of cyber incident, what type of fraudulent actors, what do you think is going to be the number one in 2025?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say that AI still is continuing to play an increasing role in cyber attacks in the industry. We see this most prominently with phishing attacks that we see. No longer, gone are the days when the phishing attacks were really easy to spot because they had a bunch of spelling errors and grammar mistakes. It's not quite that easy anymore. Most of the time, these threat actors are, putting their phishing email they want to send out through an AI program, and it spits out something that looks pretty perfect. So it's a lot harder to spot phishing attacks, and there will be other ways that AI starts to affect cybersecurity in all industries, but especially in the mortgage industry.
You run in a fascinating field. I've got to have you back again. We're going to go over some more tips, tricks, things that people can use in their day-to-day lives, because I do think that this is so important. As a matter of fact, I think it's so important that I actually put you in our continuing education this year, because I love the information that you have to share so much. So thank you again for being here. I look forward to our next conversation. And I'm LaDonna Lockard. This is Max Convos.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.